to the Wolfish channel. We're playing Pokemon Crystal, and this is our second episode. And we will be arranging our party because I did some research and found that some of these Pokemon don't learn very good moves for a long time. So we're going to be getting rid of our Spinarak and our Hoot and hoping to get and Hoppip. Hoppip doesn't learn anything good for a while. Then we're going to be withdrawing our Poliwag, because I forgot to do that at the end of the last episode. Perhaps we'll rock a Victreebel. That could prove useful. Maybe we'll go with Haunter when we get to Bellsprout Tower. We haven't got any Pokeballs. I want to pick up some of those. We are a Brokey trainer. What do you spend all your money on? Balls. Yeah, very expensive. Very expensive balls. Yeah, I don't think we caught a cat. If we did catch a cat, it would be interesting. Maybe I'll withdraw that. We don't have a flying type, and it learns Confusion pretty early on, and it can learn Psychic when we get the TM. I think it can learn Psychic. Also getting a Dark type Pokemon. Bug type moves. Well, not that Butterfree really learns any bug type moves. Wrong PC. Capertine. Always call it that. Fun for me. Pretend I'm dyslexic. We'll be heading to Violet City. So I'd like to get my Pokemon a little stronger than they are. Perhaps we go to Dark Cave to train Poliwag and Bellsprout on the way to Violet City. That'd be a good place to get some experience, farming Geodude experience. So we're probably going to do that, since I have two Pokemon that could lay waste to the majority of the encounters in that location. Making quick work of them. I'd like to Nicole learn a stab type move, Emperor action going on or what have you. But it hasn't yet. It's learned Smoke Screen, which is great. Giving you a chance. Ooh, a Letibar for this morning time. Really don't want to knock it out in one hit. Hey, we're in luck. We keep that luck on a roll. Just catch, or we're gonna waste 200. Nope. We're good. Got lucky, you know. And the prize data was added to the Pokedex. It is timid and clustered together with others. The fluids secreted by its feet indicate its location. Oh, we can get some berries. Maybe we can do that afterwards. the ceilings of old buildings and caves. A potion. Another Zubat. That's not what I was hoping for. Here's a Geodude. Just like we wanted, huh? This is probably gonna take 4 times damage. One, a critical hit though. Can't rely too much on that battle for gauging other battles. We did get a full level in one move. That's nice. It's not a Zubat. Oh no. This one's going down in one hit, no problem. Only level 2. Before they programmed abilities into the game so it doesn't have sturdy, which is going to act like a focus dash and leave it with 1 HP if it would die an attack when it has full health. Kind of annoying for going through the game because you're more likely to take damage on that turn they hang in there with 30 and it wears your team down a lot faster than if you could just one tap them. But we should have saved up from this. The Geodude coming. I never want to say if we had an S for plural Pokemon games because the majority of them seem to work without it. Just like Pokemon doesn't pluralize into Pokemons. I like to think that rules should be applied to most Pokemon names in plural references. But that's not what I experience is the case. Typically, hear multiple of Pokemon with an S at the end of it. So, experience, but it's some experience at all. I do have to take damage for it, so I'm exhausting my Pokemon doing so. Oh, level 4 sounds so much nicer than level 2. We're running out of bubble. PP. See if I can put it to sleep. Alright. Hypnosis only has like a 60% accuracy rate, so I was quite surprised it worked nearly at coin toss. With odds like that, you can get stuck trying to do it 3 times in a row before anything happens. So I considered myself lucky that I got it to work on the first shot or try. A lot of Zubats lately. Or Zubat, depending on who you're listening to. Bellsprout Tower, and we don't have anything that's going to be doing super effective damage against the Bellsprout or the Castles, if there are any. So I'm a little concerned about Castles, because basically the only thing I have it can do, and an acceptable amount of damage for knockout, is Poliwag, who's competing with my Cyndaquil levels right now, thanks to these Geodudes. The Bellsprout will not fare well against the Bellsprout, or the Bellsprout. If my gender references weren't bad enough, I would always say he, or instead of it or she when it is a girl. Now we got the plural Pokemon S's. To go back, to reflect on every time, like, or it's multiple with an S, I don't know. And I've been saying it with the S at the end first, and then having to clarify that I prefer it without the S. As if it's more proper, formal, or acceptable to use the S at the end. Alright, level 9. Gonna swap out for Bellsprout. Alright, we got lucky. We didn't have to run away or swap Pokemon. 10 PP was fine with though. So I gotta make it count. I cannot waste my PP on it counts as a full point of encounter chances if you just walk into it. I mean, it must. But the last encounter was like, I'm not getting an encounter until I move in a direction outside of facing that hopefully it's level 4. I'd like to have a Zubat, but it's going to be 2 poison types on my team, so I have a severe weakness to the Psychic. But both the Pokemon, Zubat and Bellsprout, have resistance or immunity to ground types, which is Poison's other weakness. So the grass typing would neutralize the earthquakes and the ground type attacks. Just like well, not just like, but similar to how the flying type of Zubat would make it immune to different type attacks, where Poison against ground. I'm going to train up now. Caterpie. Geodude. Let's just continue, shall we? Oh yeah, we're gonna get those berries. Not that they'll be effective very long because they're gonna work well. deserted morning hours, if it comes ashore, where it definitely uses its trunk to take a shower. Maybe no Jigglypuff, we got Phanpy. They were nice enough to give us Jigglypuff in gold, silver, yellow, red and yellow early on. Not red and yellow, but red and blue. I'm not sure if it was yellow, honestly. But I wouldn't put it past them putting Jigglypuff where it was right after Kangaroo City in yellow. We're getting rid of Centris. Taking on Fancy. We got one Pokeball left, and that's for a Gastly. But I don't think I can catch one because it's not nighttime. And I think they only come out at nighttime around Bellsprout Tower. So, I'm not sure on that, but I was pretty sure back in the day. And Crystal's a little different, so I wouldn't put him past making it available during the daytime, but it's kind of morning right now, so I kind of highly doubt that it will be available in Bellsprout Tower. We're level 3 level 9 to level 7. Getting trained up nicely. Prepared for the gym and Bellsprout Tower. We do have a Ladybug, another flying bug type that might actually learn bug type. Who knows? See how much we need. 67 and 27. So we're gonna go with Cyndaquil, hoping to get Ember level 10 or 11. So we can run Bellsprout Tower, train up the weaker Pokemon by switching to Cyndaquil is the ideal, but I'm not sure when Cyndaquil learns Ember. I really enjoyed learning Cyndaquil. Gen 2, I normally started with Chikorita, and then later on, I'd done that enough that I started doing Totodile. And I like Totodile because it has a cool third evolution. But my brothers use Cyndaquil, so I rarely ever did because that was their Pokemon, and I just got used to it. When it first came out, we got Pokemon, and I was playing Bulbasaur, so I was, attached to my grass type Pokemon. One of my brothers used water, and the other one used fire. Huh? No one's farting. I'm looking for Pokemon. My feet hurt from not sleeping. If I were a wild Pokemon, I'd be easy to catch. Oh yeah, we were gonna battle Joey. Don't want to forget that. that you're waiting was Skedaddle. It sent out Caterpie. If we got this one, come on, Phanpy, we're stronger than that. Oh, I thought we were gonna be slower there for a second. Only one damage, was it? Oh, it's the big one. Oh, critical hit. Only 3 shots knockout. Yeah, only 1 damage, wow. It's like, that's definitely a level up. Like it was with Joey. Oh, poison. Oh, boy. The last one. Oh, we got one more. Yeah, made it. Oh my gosh. That's fun. Cross the finish line in time. Stay unfainted. I'm not sure if fainting affects your friendship levels, like giving items in the old games. I mean, in the old games, like giving items raises your friendship level. think we're gonna be wrapping up this episode after we save at we're gonna go to Bellsprout Tower, enter, and save, and then we're gonna call it an episode.